Ever heard of a president who fought in over 100 duels, had a parrot kicked out of his own funeral for swearing, and completely reshaped American politics? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the wild and controversial life of the 7th U.S. President, Andrew Jackson. Born in the rugged backcountry of the Carolinas in 1767, Jackson's early life was anything but easy. He was orphaned by the age of 14, having lost his family during the Revolutionary War, a conflict he himself joined as a teenager. This tough upbringing forged a resilient and sometimes ruthless character that would define his entire career. He wasn't born into the East Coast elite. He was a self-made man from the frontier, and that image would become his greatest political asset. Jackson first exploded onto the national scene not as a politician, but as a military hero. His decisive victory against the British at the Battle of New Orleans in 1815 was a massive morale boost for the young nation. It made Old Hickory, as his soldiers called him for his toughness, a household name and a symbol of American strength and determination. This military fame was the rocket fuel for his political ambitions, but his path to the presidency was a rocky one. In 1824, Jackson actually won the most popular and electoral votes, but failed to secure a majority. The election was thrown to the House of Representatives, where a corrupt bargain between his rivals, John Quincy Adams and Henry Clay, handed the presidency to Adams. Jackson and his supporters were furious. They felt the will of the people had been stolen by a group of Washington insiders. This sense of injustice powered his next campaign. Jackson didn't just want to win in 1828, he wanted to start a revolution. He championed the cause of the common man against the established political and financial elites. He promised to clean up corruption, expand democracy, and give a voice to the farmers, laborers, and frontiersmen who felt left out. His message resonated powerfully, and he won the presidency in a landslide, ushering in what we now call the Age of Jackson, or Jacksonian democracy. As president, Jackson was a force of nature. He wasn't afraid to use his power. He famously vetoed more bills than all 6 presidents before him combined. His biggest fight was against the Second Bank of the United States. Jackson saw it as a corrupt institution that favored the wealthy and held too much power over the economy. He waged an all-out bank war, vetoing its recharter and moving federal funds into smaller state banks. His supporters loved it, seeing it as a victory for the common person. His opponents, who began calling themselves the Whigs, were horrified, nicknaming him King Andrew I and accusing him of acting like a tyrant. However, Jackson's legacy is deeply shadowed by his policies toward Native Americans. Despite the Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Cherokee Nation's sovereignty, Jackson defied the court. He pushed for and signed the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which led to the forced relocation of tens of thousands of Native Americans from their ancestral lands in the Southeast. This tragic and brutal journey, known as the Trail of Tears, resulted in the deaths of thousands from disease, starvation, and exposure. It remains a profound stain on his presidency and on American history. So, how do we remember Andrew Jackson? He was a complex and contradictory figure, a champion of the common man who expanded voting rights for white men, yet a president whose policies led to immense suffering for Native Americans, a war hero who defended the nation's honor, yet a leader who often bent the rules to get his way. He was the first people's president, who forever changed the relationship between the government and its citizens. His legacy is a powerful reminder that history is rarely black and white. What do you think? What do? Was Andrew Jackson a hero or a villain? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into American history, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.